Hello VC, Roger here again, this time for a vinyl finds video. Decided I'd go out and try to spend some of my Christmas money and birthday money. Uh, First place I went was Vintage Deluxe. It's an antique store, but the front end of this thing is nothing but records and very decent shape. I'll put it that way. There's some that's not quite as good as others, but all of them are, the vinyls are just great shape. Covers may be a little dinged or a little something to them, but for the most part, they're in great shape. This first one I'm going to show that I picked up at this store, Ricky Van Shelton. I showed Ricky Van Shelton on Jonathan's Cheap and Cheerful Record Collector video contest he had going on. That was the only one of his I had at the time. It was Ricky Van Shelton number 3. This one's Wild Eyed Dream. Good record. Has his big hits Crime of Passion and Life Turned Her That Way. Good. Typical Ricky Van Shelton. That 70s, or not 70s, 80s. 80s country. Good record. Another one I picked up, Roger Taylor, drummer for Queen. Strange Frontier. Good record. I don't know why, but they cut this corner off. They didn't cut the whole thing off, but just on the front half. Only thing I can think of, there is a gold stamp here, number. I'm wondering if this was a gold stamp promo and for a record station, or a radio station, and maybe they cut that off so they could get rid of it and not get in trouble or something maybe. But that's the only thing I can think of. Comes in original cover, or sleeve I mean. But typical Roger Taylor. If you like him, good stuff. Next one was suggested this group by Rob in Boston. And I did find this. He had told me about them, told me I needed to check them out. I did look up some of their stuff on YouTube, pulled us a couple of videos. I do have another record of Nick Lowe already, but he suggested this one, Seconds of Pleasure. Great record. What I didn't realize when I bought it, it did come with the 45. I didn't realize that till I got home. I'd already pulled the record out, checked it and everything before I put it back in, but somehow I did not see the 45 in there. Nick Lowe and Dave Edmonds sing the Everly Brothers, but it was a nice little surprise to have. So anyway, rock pile. Glad to pick that up. Thanks for the suggestion, Rob. From there, later I went to a Goodwill. I usually don't go to the Goodwills in Midland and Odessa. They're usually just trash records and stuff in there. But I thought it's been forever since I've been into one, and I finally went into one of them in Midland, checked it out, finally found the records, couldn't find them at first, and had one little box in the back with the typical classical stuff in there, and just nothing that I was interested in. Then after I got to looking, I noticed there were some records laid down flat underneath them, and so I got to looking. There was 4 or 5 under there, and I come across this one, a group I've never seen shown on the VC Player, the big hit Baby Come Back, still in the shrink. The writing is on the shrink on this, so I'm not too worried about that. White paper, but record's in great shape. Good gloss on it. Pleased to get that. Typical, if you're not familiar with Player and that song Baby Come Back, typical soft rock, yacht rock, whatever you want to call it, radio friendly rock, whatever, pop. I like it. I like a bunch of that stuff. Another one I found, Stephen Stills. Been wanting to get this one. I've seen it. Every time I've seen it, though, it's been trashed. This one's in pretty good shape. It does have the saw cut on the back end. top seam is split, but the vinyl is in great shape. Good gloss on it. It plays great. So, just glad to pick those two up at the Goodwill. Then Friday, I had a job to do, and I was waiting while I was at the job. So the people I was working with, their equipment broke down. So we were going to have about an hour or two delay until they could get their equipment back up and running. So I went and got lunch, and there was a antique mall just right down the street, maybe a half mile. Now it was a little more than that, maybe a mile from where we were at. So I went in there. I knew they had records in the past. Usually they were wanting top end dollar for them, and the conditions were not top end condition. But in the back, they did have a booth that normally has not had vinyl records in there. And so I did go in there, and I did find 3 records in there that I wanted to pick up at good price, $2 or $3 a piece. One was Bobby Gentry. I showed her the other day on a video, the record Fancy. This will make my 3rd one of hers I have. To me, it's not up to the quality of her other 2. The other 2 have more of that Delta blues, country, little Cajun-ish mix into it. Where this is more of the radio pop rock sound for her. It's a good record, just not to me what I was expecting. I was hoping it had more of that other sound to it. It does have a cover of Dusty Springfield's Son of a Preacher Man, and also a cover of Blood, Sweat, and Tears, You Made Me So Very Happy. But good record. Another one I picked up was Weather Report. I've seen several people mention Weather Report. I didn't have a clue what they sounded like. I had a cousin that her husband was a former drummer and played out on the West Coast some in a couple of different bands, I believe. And he recommended them to me. So I picked this one up. I wasn't quite what I was expecting. It was okay. I'm hoping to get some more of their stuff. I want to check them out some more. If it's all like this one, I'll probably pass on any more, but I'll give them another shot. This one was good. It was okay. It's just not what I was expecting. Not my type of jazz, I guess you could say. The other one I picked up in there was Rod Stewart. Nothing. Excuse me. Night on the Town. Everybody probably knows this one. This one has the big hit, Tonight's the Night, and the first cut is the deepest. Kind of like some of these other ones. I didn't realize till I got home. I'd pulled the record out and looked at it, but I guess this had just stuck to the side of it. But it did have the Rod Stewart t-shirt order form for this album. I thought that's kind of cool to have. I didn't know it even had that in any of them. But it's always neat, I think, to get the little bonus stuff, extra stuff like that you normally don't get to see. And last but not least, went to Walmart, just a quick look through their records. Sometimes they have some stuff I'm interested in. A lot of times I don't care too much. Usually they're all stuff I already have, or compilations of groups that I've already got the various records that I don't want to pick up anything else from. But I saw this and snatched it up immediately. Merle Haggard, live in Austin at the Austin City Limits. If you're not familiar with it, there is a show that is produced. Usually it's on around here on the Public Broadcasting System, PBS, Austin City Limits. And this is his show on there from when was it, 70... I'm sorry on that. 1978. Recorded in 1978. I'm a Merle Haggard fan. Love collect his music. When I saw that, I had to jump on it. Didn't realize that Austin City Limits was putting out any. It does come what they're calling the Orange Blossom Special vinyl, and he does do Orange Blossom Special on here. And there again, when I like some of these other ones, I guess I need to start paying more attention. When I got it, I saw the ad up here talking about the orange splatter. I didn't read all the little fine detail print on it. Got home with it, opened it up, and looked, and inside was also a DVD of that show. So I've got the music on vinyl, and I've got a DVD of the show. So I thought that was pretty cool to have both of them. So anyway, neat setup. Hope you like it. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'd really appreciate it. You guys up north, stay warm. We're supposed to get some cool weather here. Till next time, keep them spinning.